Chapter 42. Alex Grand sat on a fold-up chair with his eyes rooted to the ground. He was listening in while making a recording at the same time. He was so engrossed in his activity that he didn't notice the person approaching him along the alleyway. By the time he looked up, it was too late. A slap across the back of the head got his full attention. "What are you doing?" the voice asked. It wasn't the voice he had expected. The voice Alex feared wasn't just a voice. It was a body too, one that brought violence with it. The chat in the business meeting he was recording had quietened to pretty much a stop. He was worried that the meeting had ended, but there was still much to discuss. They hadn't finished. "Get lost," he replied, getting to his feet and remembering that he was the best part of a foot taller than the person who had confronted him. "I want to know what you're doing," Angelica responded. She had finished her errand and was now on a mission to find out what Alex Grand was doing. He had followed her, telling her it was on the orders of Vicente, his boss. Vicente denied this. She believed the boss more than she did Alex. Things were starting to fall into place in Angelica's mind. She had a picture of the previous few days that got clearer with every second. "And what would Vicente ask you to record here?" "What?" he replied, confused at her line of questioning. "Well, it was Vicente who asked you to follow me. I guess you've recorded me too. So, who's he got you recording now, Alex?" Alex tried his best to think on his feet, but the surprise of being seen in the alleyway and the quick questions of Angelica put him off his stride. "It's you," he replied loudly, trying to buy time. But his time was up. Angelica had put the pieces together. "Me? What do you want to listen to me for? That is a listening device, isn't it?" "It is a listening device, but it's an old school one. So it isn't just a listening device. It's heavy enough to double as something to finish off nosy women who get in the way when the big boys are working." Alex Grand menacingly walked around the back of Angelica. She stepped away to keep him at arm's length, but his manoeuvre had put him between Angelica and the exit to the alleyway. He was now in the position of power. She gulped when she realised the predicament she had landed in. "Alex, you killed Georgina. You were the man with her at the Valentine's masked ball. You were the man filmed with her outside the toilets." "Filmed?" he asked. "Yes, while I was in the queue for the toilets. Someone in front of me filmed you guys making out. Quite the piece of evidence, eh?" Angelica ad-libbed. It was true that someone had captured the act, but that particular piece of evidence hadn't made its way to the police by that stage, and it may never see the light of day. Alex Grand didn't need to know that. "Poop," was the only word that came to his mind. "And then the fact that you disappeared from Vicente's view for the last few days shows him that you're not working for him. And if you're not working for him, then you're working against him." "Very clever. But all your workings out will get you nowhere except an early grave. I know you killed her, but I don't know why. Please tell me before you finish me off," Angelica pleaded. She needed to buy time. She wanted to know what had brought him to kill the young girl. "She should have been mine. Vicente wanted to trade her off to Rodrigo like she was a piece of meat. She wasn't for him to toy with. He treated everything and everyone like they were pawns in his business game. But Georgina was different. We were in love. At first, when he touted the idea of her marrying Rodrigo Jr., she resisted, but Vicente wore her down. That's what he does. If he wants his way, then he's relentless, going on until the other person just says yes, so they can shut him up. She gave in. And if I can't have her, then nobody can." The tears streamed down Alex's face. "And now I'm going to send you to the same place as Georgina." He raised the listening device above his head. It wasn't perhaps as large as Angelica had feared when he'd told her the damage it could do, but it would still knock her out. Once she was out, he could do whatever he wanted to her. She flinched. A crashing sound filled her ears, but there was no pain to accompany it. Looking through her fingers, she spotted Vicente Natchez with a smile on his face. He was flanked by two other men. Angelica presumed they were Rodrigo Alcaraz and Jacinto Toledo. "You took your time," she joked. Vicente took a piece of paper out of his pocket. On it, in Angelica's handwriting, was written the message, "Meet me in the alleyway to the right of the building in 5 minutes. Say absolutely nothing now." The four of them smiled. Alex stirred, but a kick to the ribs from Jacinto Toledo took him back to the floor.